Good morning. The people that serve us, I'm a big fan. If I'm in the grocery store or just somewhere out and I see a policeman or a firefighter or somebody from the sheriff's department, I always go up and say thank you for your service, because these are the folks that when they leave the house, they don't know if they're coming back. So anyway, thank everyone for their service. But I got into a conversation the other day about what happened up in Washington, D.C. with this poor lady, this poor demented lady that was driving the car and trying to get into Washington, trying to get to the Capitol, and got shot dead. Now, they didn't know she didn't have a firearm. She was unarmed, but they didn't know this. And so Pete Williams, who's with NBC News, now keep in mind, my family was a CBS Walter Cronkite. We were Cronkite people, basically because my dad met Walter at the beach. So he was a sailor, and he used to take a sailboat down the East Coast, and my mom and dad were at Emmeline and Hesse's at St. Simon's, and there's Walter. So my dad, well, I'm like my dad. So he walked right up to him and said, I enjoy your work. I think you're fantastic on TV. And he said it was very pleasant. And thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you. So anyway, so we always watched Uncle Walter. But I, of course, when I got into my teenage years, moved on to Tom Brokaw because he was young. I knew him from the Today Show. Jane Pauley was very easy on the eyes. And so I started watching Brokaw, and then, of course, Brian Williams. So I'm watching the NBC Nightly News the other night, and I see this interview with Pete Williams, who's a correspondent, who was talking to the guy on Capitol Hill about all this and the tragedy, and they shot this unarmed lady, and he looks at the guy and says, now those of you that saw the interview are grinning already, he says, did anyone ever stop to think to shoot out the tires of the car? And suddenly, the guy he's interviewed turns into Sylvester Stallone. Well, the guys in the agencies, that's got to do what man's got to do, you know what I mean?